newest bundle of hair that they just came in straight off the boat. We find every excuse to run out, to spend it. And it's
No, I
like,
like that. I was laughing because I saw an ad somewhere talk about some virgin hair. You know what I mean? I like what is that, man? Like buy some virgin hair. Like, well, why don't you just quit being a hoe? No, anyway. Oh,
That is not what it is.
okay. I was just wondering, virgin hair.
virgin hair means it hasn't been dyed or treated.
Oh, okay. All right, that's good. Like
like
shit,
that.
y'all out here
Let me
taking the
tell you.
virgin's hair. Like shit.
Welcome to the We Got Problems podcast with co-hosts Curtis G. Martin, Rhonda L Brown, and Caliph Johnson Sr. The one and only podcast where solutions get discussed to our community's everyday troubles. Each week, you will hear mind-blowing conversations and actionable tips and strategies that you can implement in your daily life to become more effective. We got problems and we got solutions.
All right, you guys, welcome to the show. This is We Got Problems, where we discuss solutions. I'm Curtis G. Martin. I'm here with my co-host, Rhonda L Brown.
Hey, everybody.
I'm here with my second co-host, Caliph Johnson Sr.
Peace, y'all. How y'all doing?
And today we'll be talking about money in the Black community. Where the hell do our money go and what do we spend our money on, man? Because, hey, it's a lot of people claim they broke. It's a lot of people out there claim they got plenty money. And then when it comes to times of investing and having business, we just don't see it or supporting each other. You guys, where do we spend our money and where should we be spending our money?
The question is, where don't we spend our money? Because we find every latest and greatest to run out and purchase and buy the newest this, the newest iPhone, the newest Jordan, maybe it's the newest lashes or it's the newest bundle of hair that they just came in straight off the boat. We find every excuse to run out, to spend it. And it's
No, I like that. I was laughing because I saw an ad somewhere talk about some virgin hair. You know what I mean? What is that, man? Like buy some virgin hair. Like, well, why don't you just quit being a hoe? No, anyway.
That is not what it is.
Okay. I was just wondering, virgin hair.
Virgin hair means it hasn't been dyed or treated.
Oh, okay. All right, that's good. Shit, y'all out here taking the virgin's hair, like shit. But anyway, like you said, Trash, we spend our money somewhere everywhere, right? Like we gotta have a PlayStation, we gotta have the rims, we gotta like have everything. Where did that mindset come from?
TV.
You think it's all TV?
Consumers.
Yes,
they teach us to be consumers.
Yeah. From the day we start breathing is when they start teaching us to be consumers.
So they start hitting us with the commercials.
Oh yeah. Everything. Billboards, commercials.
They flood us with like different brands and different colors. They have whole marketing schemes designed to influence us from an early age, and they transition us from looking at cartoons, and all of a sudden they morning cartoons used to have all the cereal commercials coming on right after
back to back after
and
that.
Toys
back to back. So and then you had the Cracker Jack box came on right after that, and then every now and then they throw a Jolly Green Giant commercial on, but it was still geared to us going to the Keebler Elf right after that.
But somewhere it has to be where somebody has to purchase that stuff for us to let it sink in, right? Like if my family didn't never purchase it, would I have become a spender?
Mama, 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 mama. You remember we were the number one ones that was driving it home what we wanted. And if we lagged them long enough, like, please, I need those new sugar smacks. Those is the new latest, greatest, and they got this new toy in there. It's gonna make me read. Come on, I'm gonna find a reason. I'm cleaning up chores. Let's get the new sugar smacks. And as soon as you go to the store, first thing you thinking about is sugar smacks right there at the kids' eye level, right there in kids' reaching range, right there, so kids can pick it up and buy it. So once you throw it in the basket, half the time, mom and daddy like, man, move. I'm just trying to get through the shop, you know. So by the time you got to the register, you forgot you had that little sugar smacks box in your bag, and now you didn't purchase this. It's
That's
easy.
too funny you said that because I caught myself a few years back that we would go to the store like, babe, you stay in the car, leave the kids in the car. I'm gonna just run in real quick so they don't be asking for no shit. But I realized that I was doing them a disservice because I'm not teaching them how to shop.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna grow up and not know how to shop, not know how to budget their money. So I take them in the store. And even though I like to think that we can afford any food that we want, it's just certain things we don't buy for health reasons. It's certain things that we don't think we need, right? So I
You
try to
seen
teach
prices
them.
lately?
Yeah, no, prices is hell too. But I try to teach them on what we need to buy and how we need to buy it. Like I got to get back to me even making a list because I will go to the store and buy the same thing 2 days in a row. Like
Yeah.
I'll go to the store for something. I say, shit, I better get me some squash and some right, some bell peppers. And when I get home, I got plenty squash and bell peppers already.
I still do that all the time.
Right.
Hey,
So
I think we
so I
all
think
do
to
that
control our
somewhat.
money, yeah, no, we do. We all do. I think to control our money, we have to have a list when we go in shopping.
That's a good way to do it. And also, one thing we practice around here is preparing the meals that we want for the week. So then, if we know what meals we plan on making for the week, then that means we won't go out and buy anything outside of the menu of those dishes. So maybe might want to make a pot of chili, might want to make some enchiladas, you might want to make some spaghetti. It's just whatever the food or the meal that the family would sustain on for the next couple days. And of course, you want to mix it up, but we definitely believe in leftovers over here. So if you're doing leftovers and you have a good pan of spaghetti, that's gonna last a couple days. So
Oh no, that's good. What another thing that I think comes up is clothing and shoes. Like our money going on different types of clothing, and then high end. Like I ain't never telling nobody don't look good, right? Like we should be able to look good. And then if you're making the money and that's your lifestyle is looking good, then go for it. If that's your career of looking good, then go for it. But what about us? Like I saw a youngster the other day and I was telling, man, I like those Nikes, man. And I had on a pair similar, right? I was like, man, yeah, I saw something like that was like $600. He was like, yeah, these was 600. I
Never.
was like,
I'm not doing it.
whoa. And I looked at him, and his looked maybe a little better than mine, but they didn't look $550 more better.
he said 550 better.
Right? Mine was 50. Mine was 50. His was 6. Right? Like how do we spend that money on some shoes that, like, honestly, I wear the 50 pair of shoes because when mine get too many scuffs on them, I'm gonna buy a new pair, and then I wear the other ones at night because I use the scuff magic, right? You can't really see I use the scuff magic and shine them up like real, like I don't know, I got old school rhythms, right? Or old school techniques that I used to do, but I will still wear them, but not in the daytime. Those would be my night ones.
I believe it's a real issue with our young men and our young women not knowing the value of themselves. So they try and find value in material items. So they find themselves looking at these artists that's wearing all this fake jewelry. They see these artists sitting there talking about all these name high end brands that they really can't even pronounce. And then they see that as obtaining some type of value, when if they were really taught at home that the value is actually in their reflection, then we'll have a lot less kids running out there trying to put their value in a pair of shoes or in a belt buckle.
And even if the stuff isn't fake, it's borrowed. People ain't spending their money on that. It's all for show. And you have to teach your children that that's exactly what they're doing. Like I personally cannot go spend $600 on a pair of shoes. I have a hard time spending $100 on a pair of shoes. Like I can't do it. If I do want something a little more expensive, I'm gonna wait till it go on sale or clearance. I'm not paying full price for nothing.
Well, I can tell you this. I have spent $500-$600 on some shoes, $1,000 on some shoes.
Whew.
Right. I still have those shoes to this day, and I will still wear them. They don't get worn all the time. Special occasions, I break them out, and most people ain't familiar with them anyway, so they be like, "Oh, damn, them some Gators, right?" But they still in good condition. I keep them in a box. I keep them to where they not getting damaged. I'm not out playing basketball in. Like, who buys a $600 pair of shoes and then go play basketball in them, right? Like,
A lot of
I
people.
ain't gonna go cut the grass in these $600 pair of shoes, is what I'm saying. So the care that I put in them, I have shoes that cost $1,000 that I've had 13 years. I got a pair of shoes that actually the toe, right, was the pointy toe, went out of style and came back. I had them so long. You know what I'm talking about? Because every now and then the round toe come in,
Yeah.
then the square
Where it'll
toe,
be back in.
then it'd be the pointy toe. So by the time they come back, I dust them off, man.
Hey, and that's kind of how you got to. But when you buy quality over quantity, some people really believe that you're getting a better quality when you're spending more money. And in some cases, you can get premium materials on certain high-end items that you can value and find value in. I'm not trying to tell anybody how to enjoy their money. I'm saying when it comes to me and how I choose to utilize my resources, I find a lot more value in investing into my children's future than I do in the way I look right now.
So you know what though? I agree that somebody with money, a lot of money, yeah, no, I shouldn't tell you how to use your money, but we could give you some advice on how to be smarter with your money. And then also, we want to make sure we teaching the kids that it ain't about wasting your money on some of this stuff. Now, what's the guy that put the diamond in his forehead?
Little Uzi.
So Lil Uzi Vert, he had a shirt on that cost $2,400. And he told, somebody said, "Hey, Lil Uzi Vert, people was giving you a hard time about your shirt cost $2,400. He said, "Shit, this one cost $2,400." And they was like, "Whoa." He said, "Man, why would you?" He said, "I know it looked different." He said, "But if y'all knew how comfortable this shirt and how it feels, you probably would spend that money," right? Like, so I've heard that the quality of it, like you was mentioning earlier, that the quality of some things is there, but for a people in a community that's struggling to have
We need.
resources,
It ain't
right?
what
Like,
we need as a whole. And we don't need all this knockoff stuff out there trying to keep up with these fake Yeezys and these fake these and these fake that. Just trying to keep up to say that you're a part of a culture that really don't care about you the way you think it care about you. Because the same people that are celebrating you for wearing those $600 shoes will be the same one to talk about how broke you are and how you really don't deserve
when
to
you
be in.
fall off.
So at the end of the day, like, you have to find value in what's going to sustain you and actually get you into a better position. If you feel like that item or that item that trinket, I call it a trinket. If you think that brought you enough value to the point where it's going to make you a better person, by all means, invest in yourself. But at the end of the day, you have to get a mirror and you have to be your accountability partner.
Hey, look. I'm gonna sit here right here, and whoever listening, I want to say thank you to all y'all that wear fake jewelry. I can really say thank you to them because they helped me stop wearing jewelry. Right? Like, I had a few real pieces, and then I'm like, man, these dudes come next to me with all this big old giant fake pieces of jewelry on. Like, it don't even make me appreciate my real ones no more, right? Like, so I got out of the jewelry thing, right? Like, I don't even wear it. But
Hey,
I do believe in gold, right? Like I do believe in gold as an investment, right? Like so I get that part of it. I believe in some watches, right? Like I know that once you start paveing your watch out, the Rolex out, putting diamonds around the rim and all over the band, you actually take the value away from the watch, right? So
Mhm.
you know, sometimes we buy stuff and it lose value because of what we do to it. But what about where should we be putting our money? Where should we be putting our money?
we
We
should
need to keep it
invest
in
in
our
ourselves.
community
We need
for
So
to
how do
one.
we
invest.
do that?
We need to invest in ourselves. We need to
Invest in
invest.
ourselves and the people we're around.
When you say invest in yourself, what do you mean?
Education. We have to inform ourselves. Like Kurt, you're one of the first people who I really can say push me towards getting into some of these programs and getting into some of these mentorships and investing in your future as far as what you're putting into yourself, so what you're expecting to get out of yourself. So if you spend some money on a course, you damn well better be putting that course to work in your life and actually making sure you're reaping some benefits from it, because the last thing you want to do is go spend $5,000-$10,000 on one of these courses and you sitting up there looking at it, using it as a paperweight. So,
Hey,
invest
look,
in
so,
yourself.
so something I want to tell the people that's listening. When we say invest in your education, it don't mean you have to go be to a 4-year college, 2-year college, and we're not saying don't go, right? But there's ways to invest in yourself for as education, for as other entrepreneurs that might have a mentorship program or somebody that might have a course. You can invest in that course. You can go to college, however it is, but you got to educate yourself. Right. So I definitely agree with that. So if we invest in ourselves, how do we invest in our community?
We all have friends that are entrepreneurs. Don't ask them for a deal, you know?
All my
Like
friends
that
are.
we have a bad habit of doing that. Like, oh, I know you. Like, we've been cool for 10, 15 years. Like, what's my price? Like,
uh,
no, your price is the same as everybody else's price. We can't keep doing that.
You
Hopefully
you you know what's
your price
crazy?
come with a tip.
No, I used to feel like I had to have a price for my folks, right? Like I have a price for everybody else, and then I have a price for my folks, right? Like that's just something we do as entrepreneurs, or something we do as people. We always looking for the hookup.
You
Hmm.
know what? My mom, when I wrote my book, my mom, she didn't just buy a book. I was like, "Mom, you my mom. I'm gonna send you a book, right?" She was like, "No, I got like 6 people who want to buy one right now." I'm like, "Okay, mom, I'm gonna sell them to you for wholesale. Would that make you feel better?" She was like, "Yeah. I just want to make sure your book is in people's hand and they paying for it." So it just gave me a different appreciation. Like none of y'all should be asking me for a free book if my mama willing to pay for one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I just look at y'all like totally different. Anybody who would come to you and ask something that you created out of your intellectual property to be given to them for free, because that's how they feel about you. So
Hey, they don't go to these high end stores at Louis Vuitton and ask for a discount.
because they can't, they won't give them a discount. I was looking at watches and they was like, "Yo, Swiss don't do breaks. They don't
Yeah.
do like." It's what the price is because they're Swiss made. They're not gonna.
Kind of like Apple. Apple don't do deals. They
You're
don't
not
have
gonna find
sales.
no that they don't do deals. There's no such thing as a off day where we got some time where we're gonna give. No, we don't do that here. We got quality product. If you want it, come sign up.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, Apple's so cold with it, right? Um, I was wearing those wireless earbuds at one time, but I went to Apple. They was like $269. I went to um,
Target.
uh, no, it was actually Costco, and they were like 149. And so I bought them. And then when I went to Apple, I was like, because I had some gift cards for Apple, so I, I would rather pay the 149 cash and use my 200 and some dollar gift card, right? Because
Hmm.
it wasn't equaling the value to me, right?
Right.
So I asked him, I said, man, how is it that you guys are Apple and they have a better price? He said, man, when they negotiate their sale or how many they want, they can offer a better price because they got so many. And so when they first dropped, for the first couple of months, you go to Costco to get them, not Apple. Apple got a better. I mean, Costco got a better price than Apple. Costco, I can get the hookup.
See, and that's how you got to do it. But
Uh,
see, then buyer beware as well, because sometimes you might find yourself on Amazon, and those brands, you want to stick with the brand, so you're getting the quality of that brand. Apple back their products up. Anytime something go wrong, my Apple Care take care of my laptop, it take care of my phone, it take care of everything that could potentially go wrong. So now you don't have that backing. You go to Joe Smo, and they're gonna be like, "Well, I got to send you to Apple anyway." So
hey, so tell me this, Rhonda, do you actually like say you go into a cleaners? Do you actually look for a black cleaners in your community and find a black cleaners? Because a lot of the cleaners I see, the people that own the cleaners don't look like me. So do you actively look for somebody that's a black owned cleaners and use that cleaners or any other service?
I do. I never used to, but I do. And they may be a little more expensive, but that's because it's only one. They're not a chain.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I do I do do that now.
And that happened to me actually. That's why I used the cleaners one. And I knew of this guy already, and I still didn't go to him. That's just because the mindset wasn't there, right? So once I started going to him, as soon as I got there, I like, oh, I don't know if this gonna work. Over there, they charged me $1.50 per pants. This dude charged me $2.50. And I looked at the bill and I was like, oh man, this probably ain't gonna work. And so that same week when I got my clothes, got home, what I did was I used to get one wear out of my jeans and they was to the cleaners. Now to make his price work, I get 2 to 3 wears out of my jeans. Don't let nothing not be on them, and you might run for 4-5 days. If
hey,
ain't
you
nothing on,
good. It's still good. It's still good.
right? So that way, now my cleaners bill is even less, and I'm spending with the black cleaners,
Mhm.
right? So that was a way I figured out, and then I have a partner that has a store, and I need to go by there now. Every now and then, I like, you know what? I need to run by his store. We going to the movies. That's where I'm gonna get our snacks at, from his store, right? Like, how can I make an extra effort to spend with somebody in my community? How about like even Trash, my cousin turned me on to the Compton vegan food truck.
Oh, we gotta support our people. We
Now I
gotta
stalk
support.
this guy, man.
That's good. Hey, I had some the other day, some shrimp, and then I had the barbecue short ribs with mac and cheese and cornbread and baked beans. Yeah, I love supporting our people. My thing is, if we don't support us, no one else will. It's just the same way as when we grew up, like all these kids and slides and Crocs. Now we grew up, you couldn't grow up, you couldn't go outside like that because you didn't know what you had to do when you were out and about as a young man. You might be forced to push a truck, you might be forced to lift something. And the last thing my pops would have wanted to see me outside in some house shoes, and we got to go do something. I'd have got cursed out in several different ways if he saw me out there unprepared and he need me to be a young man at the time. So I look now, like if you see your people on the side of the road, you see somebody jumping out that look just like them and help, make sure you're doing the same thing. It don't take nothing to take a couple seconds to help get out and lend assistance. Like if you can, everybody ain't able. Sometimes your schedule is crunched and you got some other stuff to do. But if you see one of your queens out there who's struggling or trying to get across the street, it don't take nothing but 5 minutes to stop, help her across the street, get back to your life. But those are the little examples that we need to set in our community to make sure the youth are seeing it and that they can follow suit as well.
And so I have another question. So we talked about like where do our money go, where should it go, and how we can invest in the community. How like so it's a bunch of entrepreneurs out there that like, oh, I'm gonna build a community up and this is my plan. Donate money here, you can invest here. So you got a guy like this guy Jay Morrison out of Atlanta allegedly defrauded all of these people, right? So
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly defrauded all these people. So how do we get to where we can trust somebody that they're going to do the right thing for the community as far as our investments, and this money is not going to fund their Ponzi scheme, so to speak.
You got
I
to
think
protect the dollars. Go ahead, Butterfly.
you got to do your research, because there's going to be a bad apple no matter what community you're in, and you can't use them to judge how everybody else is going to treat you or how everybody else does business. So you
No,
have to do your research.
and I get it, but what about now? Like everybody like said, okay, everybody's being a businessman, entrepreneur, influencer. We trust this guy. Now, let's donate this money. Not only donate, let's invest this money, and everything looks good. And then all of a sudden, it goes south, right? How do we get back to that trust? Because you got the same info as the guy next to you, and I don't know if I should trust this guy now.
Be involved. Be very involved. Wherever I invest my dollars at, I'm involved. And I really want to make sure I'm doing my part, not to get anything out of it, but to help what the cause is. So if you're involved with the bill and you have access to it, then it kind of falls on you just as well as the person who you're believing in or you're putting your investment into. So I'm not going to go to CRC and say I'm just going to throw some money at CRC. I'm gonna say no. I'm going to CRC. I'm investing in CRC. This is my investment. What do you need me to do to help? How can I be of service? Like, so now I know that the idea that I'm investing into, I'm vested into it. So I know I'm putting my money in something that I can stand on and I can represent, because that's what we do. We put our money behind things we can represent. Brands. Go buy a shirt. Go buy a hat. Whatever the business is doing that I see that I like, that I feel attached to, I want to make sure I'm doing my part to help build it and promote it as well.
All right, so another question on that same line. So we have these people that defrauded the people. Should the rest of the community that knows a little more than everybody else, should they still be doing business with people like that's probably taking advantage of the community? Should people still be doing business with them, or should they out them and put them off to the side? Like, I ain't saying cause harm to them, right? But if you're still doing business with somebody that has allegedly defrauded the people, how do that make you look? Like, how
Just as
should we stand
guilty.
with that? That's just as
Just as
guilty.
guilty. Birds of a feather flock together.
Okay.
Like, no, if you're still doing business with somebody that is known for that, and you claim you care about the people, then you would out them, and you wouldn't even associate yourself with them.
I always look at it like this: never do a deal that you wouldn't do with your mom. If you wouldn't do it with your mom, you shouldn't do a deal with somebody else's mother or brother, sister, uncle. Don't do a deal that you wouldn't want to see done to your people. So that's kind of how I hold my moral compass on it. If I ain't gonna do the same deal for my mama, I wouldn't do the deal. Period.
Yeah, I like that. Hey, so what's some ways we can start investing in our community to make our communities a better place?
I would say start shopping in your community. Support the young entrepreneurs in your community.
Yeah, I was a little upset at myself the other day. I went to this new restaurant I found. Well, I knew where it was at. Then I happened to be passing by there, so I went in there. And then inside, they had a girl that had a little booth, and she was selling some type of cream. And I didn't buy any of the cream, right? And I usually try to, especially she was a young entrepreneur. I usually, and then I had a bunch of stuff going, but I didn't even have a thought that I'm gonna stop by there and buy something. I don't know if it's that, Rhonda. I know your girls sell creams and oils and
Butters.
stuff, and I haven't bought anything from them, because so in my mind I'm gonna buy something from them one day. So I don't know if that played into it. Like, no, I got somebody that sells this stuff already.
Mm-hmm.
But we should actively, like, if I wear a cream, why not try the cream? Because somewhere you went to Macy's and tried some cream, and you decided you liked it, and it was $70 a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Yet here's this young entrepreneur that's telling you I have some cream that'll work wonders for your face,
Yep.
and it's $25 a bottle, and you won't even try it.
And it's actually geared towards you. The stuff
Yeah,
you get
yeah,
in
yeah.
Macy's isn't. They just throw all kind of stuff in there and
Mm.
mark $70, and it's half the stuff you don't even need.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. Hey, so I guess where should we go with our money? Because I've heard that we have $1 trillion in spending power, right? So that means we don't have $1 trillion, but we get that money. We get we come across $1 trillion and we spend it every year.
We should go straight to the people that look like us, that supported us on our way up, and we should invest into them, because the people who are investing in you are the people, and they might not be in your family. They might be in your community, somebody that know you've been out there struggling and they really been kudos in you the whole way. Invest into them. Like, I got a deal specially geared around this. This is what you do. This is what I want to make sure I'm coming back and support. Support people who support you on the way up. And then you make sure you good to people. Be real good to people and treat people the way you want to be treated. And I think that's the best way to go about it.
Something I want to see is I see a lot of people open these little mom and pop stores now, right? Like on the corners, you see a lot of those are black owned now. But I would like to see somebody else behind that has the products that's funding those stores. Not we still going to somebody else to get the product. So now we just put a middleman in between somebody else getting our money, right? So it lasts a little longer in the community. But what about like I don't drink milk myself, but what about somebody that has milk? You sell milk in your store. Now we got 20 stores in the community, right? Why don't somebody that's distributes milk to those 20 stores, right?
Mhm.
Why
Right.
don't we have somebody that has chips that goes to those 20 stores? And then now
Right.
from there we venture out, and now we're and then now who do he get his chips from? Right? Like the guy that's giving them to the 20. We need to own it from the top to the bottom.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
And then now
Yep.
the money's actually circulating in our community.
Yep.
All right.
So yeah, definitely got to keep it in our community. Shop local. I
Like
say
like
shop black first.
so something I see, I have a vision of like t-shirts, for instance, shorts, anything, just name any clothing. And just imagine if we had sweatshop's got a bad name, but I don't really want to call it a sweatshop. So we had a sewing shop or a distribution center that made different products, right? And so this particular week we doing t-shirts, and say we map out 20,000 t-shirts a month, 50,000 t-shirts a month. At what price can now we sell them to the local stores to where they can make money off of them?
Mhm.
Right. So now we owning it from top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we sending those to our print shops. Now they putting prints on them same t-shirts, and we sending those to different stores in the community. And not just our stores. We sending them to every store. Right.
Yep.
Definitely.
I don't know. I just see that as being a model that we build these models, and nobody build a distribution model to where everything flows down, right? Like that's what I want to start seeing, because everybody got models of how to run certain businesses and how to automate them. We need those models to be to where they're distribution centers.
Mm-hmm.
What y'all think?
I agree.
Definitely. Definitely. Like we gotta get our stuff built up. Like we might be behind a little bit, but we gotta get time to get caught up.
Perfect timing, y'all. Perfect timing.
Hey, look, I remember being on a call the other day, and we were talking about something. And no, I know I ain't going yet. I'm gonna get out of here. But somebody said, "Oh shit." Hey, y'all, we got problems, and we also have solutions, and we out.
Peace.
We've been trying to tell you. I've been in the chat. We've been texting.
From the team at CRC Empire, we want to thank you for listening. To stay connected with us, like, share, and subscribe to the We Got Problems podcast. You can find us on social media platforms at Curtis Martin 247, at Rhonda Wrights Official, and at the_trash_vegan_. We got problems and we got solutions.